right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Akakodah. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. It's your brother, Rabbi Nab, coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, satisfying to the Lord's elect. Go into some articles, see what's going on in the world. It says Senator Jeff Merkley warns tyranny has arrived in the marathon floor speech protesting the ducks. We've been knew tyranny has arrived, man. We've been told you that. See how late you are to the show, man? Let's see what it says. Senator Jeff Merkley, if you don't know what he looks like a so-called white man right here. That's Jeff Merkley, if you didn't know that. Okay, it says Orr is still speaking on the Senate floor after delivering remarks for more than 16 hours in protest of what he described as President Donald Duck's authoritarian leadership, and warning that the Republic is facing the biggest threat since the Civil War. Oh, they're using the word Civil War. President Duck is shredding our Constitution. Is it okay for mass federal agents to arrest people off the street because of their skin color or their accent? No way, not in a free America. America's not free no more, bro. America means bitter, first of all. This is a bitter captivity for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Merkley said in his opening remarks around 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday. So he calls it authoritarian. Okay? And hey, it's about to get real draconian, we should call it. We should call it draconian. That's what it's gonna get. It's gonna get like that. But we try to tell you. People have tried to tell you, man. But nobody wants to listen to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, man. It's just like nobody's hearing them. They've been doing this work for a long time. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 6, it says, folly is set in great dignity and the rich sit in a low place. Folly is foolishness, okay? This is why you have apps like your Instagram account, your all these accounts. That's folly being set in great dignity. They don't talk about righteous order. They don't talk about things like that. That's foolishness to the people of the world, man. When you talk about the Lord and how people ain't operating according to the law, statutes, and commandments, they call that foolishness, man. This whole country built upon foolishness, man. They won't like to fool around. Your kids like to fool around. They don't know nothing about the Lord. And they going to school, and what are they going to teach them about? They ain't going to teach them about the Lord, man. That's one thing they're not going to teach them about. So folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. The rich are the Israelites, okay? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They're rich in faith because they got the Lord, they got the promises. When you read Romans, the 9th chapter. But they don't know that. And they sit in a low place. They sit in a low place, meaning you're poor. You're supposed to be, according to Deuteronomy 4 and 6, above all people, but you're in a low place. Deuteronomy chapter 4, I start at the top. Now therefore hearken, O Israel is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, unto the statutes and unto the judgments. Okay, this statute, this judgments, you read Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, it tells you the judgments for your disobedience. In Leviticus, the 26th chapter, 15. Actually, read the whole chapter. How you doing today, brother? Good morning. All right. Which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live. So if you don't do them, what do you think is going to happen? Does he have to, if you do them, you may live. If you don't do them, you may die. No, he's telling you if you have the proper understanding. Okay? And go and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you, and the land is Israel. Okay, Deuteronomy by Moses, the second book of the law. Okay, it was given to the Israelites. These books were given to the Israelites. The first 5 books weren't given to the heathen. Okay, you shall not add unto the word which I command you. Okay, you can't add on to this word. Okay, it tells you in Revelation. What is that? Revelation 20. Revelation 22, I think. Revelation 22 and Revelation 22, verse 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. Okay, there's a bunch of plagues there. And Esau added and took away from the scriptures, and that's why he's going to get all these plagues in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. Okay, so if you add or take away from the scriptures what Esau has done, man, you got plagues coming to you. And one of the biggest plagues, one of the biggest plagues is the thermonuclear missiles that's coming down from Russia. Okay, and these other nations. Tells you about the banners. That's the other nations coming and helping. After this place gets blown with thermonuclear fire, they're gonna help add to the fire. Deuteronomy 4 and 1. And go and possess the land which the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, power of your fathers giveth you. Your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, that's who you descend from. Okay, you shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God which I command you. And that's what happened with the nation of Israel. They didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And that's why they got exiled out of the land. The Lord allowed these heathen nations to come in and take you up out of there. Okay, but the same thing like the so-called white man, he's in the land today. He don't execute the law, statutes, and commandments, and he's going to be taken out of that land. Okay, he's going to be brought to a low state like you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are in today. Okay, Deuteronomy 4:3. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that followed Baal Peor, the Lord thy God hath destroyed them from among you. So you worshiping other gods. And he's referring to a time in the book of Numbers. Numbers the 25th chapter. I'll read it. Numbers 25 and 1. In Israel abode and Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab, which are the so-called Chinese, man. They're the Moabites. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods. And the people did eat and bowed down to their gods. And that's what you're doing in this time. You're going through a foreign land and you're bowing down to the gods of that land, like Jesus Christ. That's Caesar Borgia. You're bowing your knee to him. Okay, which is an idol, by the way. If you don't have that proper understanding, yes, they read the Bible. Yes, it says Jesus in the book, but you got to go into the Hebrew. You got to go into the Greek. This was translated. Now, a lot of Christians will tell you, yeah, you got to go into the Hebrew and go into the Greek. And then when they go into it, you get the word Yeshua, okay? But all of these sounds that you're getting are made up, man. On the small hat, they made these sounds up, the Yiddish, okay? So what you really got to do, you got to go back to the Paleo-Hebrew to get the pure language, okay, which the Lord gave us when you read the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, okay? And that's what the pure language is about. The land of Canaan, when you look into that, it's talking about the Paleo-Hebrew, okay? Pure Hebrew, all right? So that's how we get the name Yahweh Shai, by the way. And if you don't know that, then you're not going to be saved. It says, you got to believe in the name, okay? When you read John the 3rd chapter, it's very important that you believe in the Son's name. It's very important. And if the Lord isn't revealing his name unto you, he's not identifying himself to you. And if he's not identifying himself to you, he probably doesn't want you to get to know him, because he don't want you to be converted, like it tells you in Isaiah the 7th chapter. Okay? He wants your ears to be heavy and your eyes, or your eyes to be heavy and your ears to be fat. Or your eyes fat and your ears heavy. Long story short, he don't want you to get this word. Okay? Because it's a prophecy about 2/3 that are gonna die on this side. How you doing, brother? How you doing? You have a blessed day, my man. You know? You're welcome, man. You're welcome. So you just threw me all the way off. Long story short, that's not the name, man. You want to get the name of the Lord. It tells you in Proverbs 18 and 10 that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and are safe. So if you got the wrong name, you running into the wrong building, the wrong tower, and that tower's going to be destroyed. Okay? So you want to make sure you're in the right tower, man. And if you're not glorifying the Lord in his proper name, you're not coming in through the proper channels. Like he tells you in John the 10th chapter. Okay, let me finish this in Numbers 25. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. Okay, and just like you serving these other gods today, the anger of the Lord is kindled against you too. Okay, that's why it's important that we come up out of this mindset. Rise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Okay. First Kings. I think it's First Kings. First Kings chapter 9. And I'll start at 15. And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, Go, return to thy way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. And Jehu the son of Nimshi shalt thou anoint to be king over Israel. And Elisha the son of Shaphat and Abel Mohola shalt thou anoint to be prophet in thy room. And it shall come to pass that him that escapeth the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay, and him that escapeth from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him. That's right. So, long story short, Elijah thought he was the only prophet left, and the Lord told him, "No, I left 7,000 men that would not bow the knee to the image of Baal." Okay, and just like today, he has a complete number of men who are not going to worship this devil, man. His system tells you in Revelation the 15th chapter that he's going to get you. They're going to get the victory over the beast. Okay, but it tells you in Revelation the 14th, the 16th chapter, those who don't get the victory, a grievous sword is going to come upon them who worship the beast. And the beast is the system. If you trust that this system is going to sustain you, then you're going to fulfill Isaiah 36:6, where it says you're going to get pierced hand, man. Those who trust in Egypt. Let me grab it. Okay, and symbolically, I was talking about the Assyrians coming into Judah. Judah was trusting in their alliances with Egypt and Ethiopia. They thought they were going to have their back if ever the Assyrian army was going to come and try to destroy them. That would deter them from being destroyed. Just like now, Babylon, for example, believes, which is America, thinks that they got all these thermonuclear capabilities, drones, capable technology. So they rely on that to protect them, but in all actuality, the Lord is against them. And he's going to raise up the spirit of the Persians and the Medes, and they're going to destroy them. Because if you come up against the Lord, you're going to lose. That's the only way we lost, is the Lord coming. We came up against him ultimately for breaking the laws, but that's why he allowed all these things to happen unto us. This is the book of Isaiah 36:1. Now it came to pass in the 14th year of King Hezekiah that Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came up against all the defense cities of Judah and took them. Okay, the defense cities of Judah. Okay, so he took over the whole northern kingdom, and now he's at the gate of Judah, which is the southern kingdom. And the kingdom of Assyria sent Rabshakeh from Lachish to Jerusalem unto the king Hezekiah with a great army, and he stood by the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's house, of the fuller's field. Then came forth unto him Eliakim, Hilkiah's son, which was over the house, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah, Asaph's son, the recorder. And Rabshakeh said unto them, Say ye now to Hezekiah, Thus saith the great king, the king of Assyria, What confidence is this wherein thou trustest? I say, sayest thou, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for war. Now on whom dost thou trust, that thou rebellest against me? Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him. So here it is, the Lord's using the heathen to pretty much prophesy a little bit right there. Because when you have the proper understanding, you understand that the modern day Pharaoh is Esau Edom, just like it matches up in Romans the 9th chapter. Okay, and he's going to be coming up against Jerusalem, which is the beautiful forts of place. Okay, which is talking about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's why he's coming out with this great flood, like a madman. What does that say? Revelation 12:12. Okay, let me grab it. but he's coming to get you, okay? Because of the blessing. He's mad about the blessing. He wants to try to destroy you because he understands that the Lord's not dealing with him. Revelation, but he didn't want it. He didn't want the blessing. And we sold, Jacob, your forefather, sold him some lentils and some bread, and he ate. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Okay, showing you that he's a little kid, a little boy, and he sold something that was very important. That's why you don't give things to little boys. Okay, that's why he calls you a boy, because he's projecting. He's actually the boy. Okay, they that have me in derision are younger than I. That's what Job said. Revelation 12:12, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them, which is talking about the Israelites who believe. Okay, the kingdom of heaven is within us. The true believers of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. All right? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Woe means death and destruction to the inhabitants of the earth, which is all of y'all. For the devil is come down unto you, the devil, so-called white man, Esau, Edom, having great wrath and anger, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Okay, short time to rule. Okay, and that's why he's going to come in with a great flood, a great army, a great host to come and get you. But the Lord's going to lift up a standard, just like he did with Sennacherib. Okay, he wasn't able to take down the southern kingdom. Okay, the Lord lifted up a standard against him. He sent angels against him, and the angels destroyed him. So Israel didn't even have to fight. This is what I'm trying to say here. Israel didn't even have to fight. Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. That's right. Okay? You shall hold your peace. Okay, you shall have peace in this. And that's why the name of the Lord is a strong tower. Numbers 25:4. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. So these people that were worshiping other gods, it was causing wrath to come upon Israel. So in order to get the wrath away from them, they had to destroy the people who were transgressing the laws. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. And this was going to happen to you. But this time, according to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, he's going to send an angel to do it. These different judgments, it's a spiritual thing, man. Okay, you read Ecclesiastes, the 39th chapter, it talks about there be spirits that are created for vengeance. And that's actually what it is. Famine is a spirit. You get some murderous spirit. That's a spirit. So people don't look at these things as spirits, but that's what they are. And it's judgment from the Lord. Numbers 25 and verse 5. And Moses said unto Salaki in verse 6. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And it tells you in the book of Ezekiel, the 8th chapter, how the different women were worshiping different gods at the temple of Jerusalem. Okay, so that shows you how all Judah was going. Okay? There's a scripture in Isaiah, the 11th chapter, that says, Judah shall not vex Ephraim, and Ephraim shall not envy Judah. Okay, because they were doing the same things. They had 2 calves in the southern kingdom, in Bethel and in Dan, and now they were worshiping the calves again, just like they did when we escaped the Exodus to Egypt. And what happened? People got slayed that day, 3,000 men. Okay, and same thing is what happened again when he sent in the Assyrian army to destroy the northern kingdom. Not to destroy them, but exile them out the land, send judgment upon them. And then they came over here to the Americas according to 2nd Esdras 13:40 on down in 2 Kings the 17th chapter. Okay, so that's the history of you so-called Latinos and Native Americans. But you think you're something else. You think you're Azteca or whatever, which you are, but you go farther than that, okay? Much farther than that. Go all the way back to the beginning. All right? All right? Yeah. So this is what happens when you transgress the laws. Numbers 25:7, and when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the men of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague, this is the point, was stayed from the children of Israel. So he had to die, okay, in order to stay the plague from Israel, all right? And it's the same thing. It's the same thing now, man. Y'all gotta die, man. Y'all gotta die. 2/3 of the nation of Israel gotta get put to death because they're gonna bow the knee. Okay? And the Lord gave plenty of examples of how he sends forth his judgment. All right? So you might want to take heed to it while you still can. Deuteronomy 4:3, your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that follow Baal Peor, the Lord thy God hath destroyed them from among you. And he's going to do the same thing with you wicked unbelievers. He's going to destroy you now. He's going to save his elect. He's going to destroy 66.6 of you Israelites out there who don't believe. Okay? You don't believe. And it's not for you to believe. John 6 and verse 60. John 6 and 60. Outside of 59. These things said he in the synagogue as he taught in Capernaum. Many therefore of his disciples, and he was teaching, eat my flesh, drink my blood. So they thought he was talking about cannibalism. These are his disciples, people that were following him. But then they got offended because they didn't understand what he was saying. He wasn't actually telling them to drink his blood and eat his flesh. He tells you in Matthew the 13th chapter that he speaks to them in parables. Okay, and they couldn't decipher what he was saying because this word's not for everybody. So if you don't understand what's going on, so maybe this word's not for you. You're supposed to believe in Jesus Christ, a so-called white man coming to save you. Because you're going to die. You're a fool. You bow the knee to the image of Baal. Matthew 13 and verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Okay, it's not given to them. All right? They don't have the understanding of this book. Okay? That's why they can't accept what the Lord, they can't accept the apostles and elders on down from Great Millstone. They can't accept the word, man. Okay? John chapter 6 and verse 61, when Yahushua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, doth this offend you? Yeah, does this offend you? What I'm talking about, eat my flesh, drink my blood. See, I'm eating his flesh and drinking his blood by getting into this word. Okay? That's what that means, man. This is how we eat. Okay, we put videos up so people can eat. It's a spiritual sitting down at a table, just like it says in the book of Psalms, the 23rd chapter, that you Christians love to read in the church that have no understanding. Let me grab it. Beautiful psalm, but y'all chop it up all the time, but I'll break it down. Psalms chapter 23 and 1, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters, okay? The green pastures is the truth. Okay, he got you eating the green pastures, the still waters. This is the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yeah, he leadeth you. He's a shepherd, you're a sheep. And Israel is likened unto sheep. Like it says in a couple of places. I mean, it is, I think, let me grab one over here in the book of Matthew 15, there's one in Matthew 10, there's one in Jeremiah 50. There's plenty of precepts that show you who the sheep is. Okay? But the church will tell you this is talking about you. And it probably is talking about you because the majority of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans go to these churches. So you have the zeal of the Most High, but it's not according to knowledge. And the Lord ain't revealed that to you. Matthew. Going back to Matthew 15. Matthew 15, verse 24, it says, but he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 10 and verse 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth, commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So that's red letter twice. Okay? Hey, the water Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Okay? Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So the Israelites are referred to as being sheep. Okay? All throughout the Bible. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50. And verse 6, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. Okay, so now we know who the sheep are. Okay. And he said, lie down in green pastures. So that's the Lord, man. That's the Lord. That's the Lord doing all that. Which is bringing us this knowledge. All right. That's where you get it from the Lord. It's a gift. Faith is a gift. Where's that precept I'm looking for? Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 16. It says, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Also, I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. Therefore, hear ye nations, and know, O congregation that is among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it. Okay, so it's the same thing. They reject the Lord, and He's gonna deal with you. He's gonna deal with you by giving you the judgments in this book. So he at least warned you. That's not somebody that wants to destroy you if he's warning you about the calamities that's to come. That's love if someone tells you something that's in your best interest. Instead of lying to you and then destroying you, that's hate. Like Esau. That's what Esau does. He'll lie to you, and then you die. That's what he does to you. Okay, but the Lord warned you. He warned you, gives you a bunch of warnings, and until it's too late. Until it's too late. Then it's judgment time. Then he ain't talking no more. And he's about to stop talking to Esau too. As we can see. That's why he's the most proud right now. He wants $230 million. He's got a lawsuit. He want to blame everything the Democrats did. He wants to take $230 million out of your tax-paying dollars for what? For what? Why are you trying to enrich yourself with the poor? With the poor as well? Don't you think they need it right now, especially with the government being shut down? Nah, this is the perfect time for me to run this lawsuit and get them while they're low. That's the mindset of Esau. Okay, so he's gonna be coming down with great wrath because he got a short time left to do this type of shit. All right. I will send you pastors according to my knowledge. I think that's Jeremiah 3:15. I knew it. Jeremiah 3 verse 15, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So that's feeding you with knowledge and understanding, showing you when he was talking about eat my flesh and drink my blood, that was talking about feeding you with knowledge and understanding. You were supposed to eat it, okay? They couldn't, but they couldn't because of Matthew the 13th chapter. It's really because of Isaiah the 7th chapter, but Matthew 13 too, because he speaks unto them in parables. In all actuality, he's not really talking to you. He's talking to his elect. Okay, when you read John the 17th chapter. So that's how we know. He says, I pray not for the world. He's saying, so what does that mean if God so loved the world too? That's another precept. If he said, I pray not for the world, that word world doesn't mean the whole world. He's talking about Israel. I'm not praying for all these Israelites. No, I'm praying for the elect. And he damn sure ain't praying for the heathen, man. Okay, this is the Lord. This is the heathen taking our book, our customs, and they see how divine it is, and they're like, yo, this is us. 'Cause that's what they do with Jake. They covet to be Jake. They really want to be you. They really do. They don't want to go through the curses. They want all the blessings, but they don't really want to. They know we the people, man. Okay, they can't suffer like us, man. The Lord created us to go through whatever we're going through. He created us with integrity. These nations don't have any integrity. Look at their customs, man. They're disgusting. These people eat pig, and we learn all that shit from the heathen. They eat bugs. We learn that from the heathen, man. I mean, John the Baptist ate a locust, but that's according to Leviticus. That was righteous. You can eat locusts. Not all of them. Some of them are poisonous, so you got to know which ones you can eat and what demographic that they are in. So I wouldn't just go around eating locusts because you can eat locusts. You got to have knowledge of what you can and cannot eat. They eat everything outside of the Levitical laws. Okay, and that's why y'all got big. That's why majority of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are suffering from what you're suffering from because of your diet. That's you breaking the law. That's judgments being set upon you. What's so hard about eating clean, man? You're just so wicked. You're so rebellious against the Lord that any type of truth you're willing to go against it. So if your diet is off, you're probably off upstairs too, in your mind and your spirit too. John chapter 6 and verse 61 again, when Yahushua knew in himself that the disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, doth this offend you? What and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before? It is the spirit that quickeneth, this flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Okay, so word quickening needs to be made alive. So they should have been alive when he said, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. They're looking at it carnally. Literally eat your flesh and drink your blood, man. They didn't have the spirit, is what he's telling them. Okay, the spirit is what quickens you. Okay, so that was a good sign that the spirit's not dealing with them because they couldn't get the interpretation of the thing. But there are some of you that believe not. So here it is. There are some of you that believe not. Okay, he knew through the spirit, but even discerning spiritual things from what he's telling them, you can tell they don't get it. He was hearing what they were murmuring about. They actually believed that he was talking about eating his flesh and drinking his blood. So that's why this is what happened. But there are some of you that believe not, and this applies to 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. For Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not and who should betray him. Okay? And he said, John 6 and 65, therefore said I unto you that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him of my Father. It tells you in John the 3rd chapter that everything comes from heaven. Okay, if something was given unto you, it's given to you from on high. Okay, so you can't even come to Yahushua unless the Lord gives you the spirit of understanding. Okay, which ultimately is ministering spirits. Okay, which are angels that give you the truth. All right, and if they're not administering unto you because the Lord rejected you, according to Jeremiah 6 and 30. Okay. John chapter 6 and verse 66. John 6:66. From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. So that's what y'all doing, man. You're going to walk no more with him. And that's why this ain't for you. Let me grab that in John 6 and 30. Reprobate silver shall men call them because the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, have rejected them. Okay, so you've been rejected by the Lord. All right? So that's why you can't come into the knowledge of this truth. Psalms 23 and 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, which is America, it's a valley and it's a shadow of death because it's ultimately Esau is as death, man. He is as death, man. All right? When in Habakkuk 2 verse 5, he enlarges his desire as hell and he is as death. This is talking about America. This is where the Edomites dwell. This is his top. This is his cash cow, America. This is where he gets, this is where the throne of Satan is, man. All right? And this is where It's the shadow of death for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, you were exalted before. Now you're debased, and you're in the valley. You don't know who you are. You're not. You're low. You've been discontinued from your heritage, according to Jeremiah 17:4. Okay, that's a valley, man. But when you were on the mountain, when you were on Mount Zion, whoever runs Mount Zion runs the whole world. So who runs it? You can tell by the sodomite parades in Tel Aviv, that's the so-called white man Esau Edom. Okay, it's him. He runs it. That's why you got all these wicked ass laws and the people are. That's what wickedness does, man. It destroys the kingdom. You let this wicked law pass and that wicked law pass and that wicked law pass, and now the wicked is being oppressed. Good for them. Okay? Good for them. But in the kingdom to come, these laws are going to be instituted. You're going to be scared to be wicked in the kingdom because there's going to be judgment being executed till y'all get right with the Lord. And then once y'all are in order, this earth is going to be flourishing. It's going to be nice and beautiful, okay? We're going to be able to drink out the water, drink out the lakes and the ponds, clean water. The fish are going to be okay. The world's going to be happy, man. That's where you're going to have peace. When Israel is back in the power, according to Proverbs 29 and verse 2. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, yeah, we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, which is Babylon, America, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The rod and the staff, the rod is used for correction, okay? And the staff is for stability, okay? The Lord was correcting us and keeping us stable in his truth. Okay, that's why we're going through the things that we're going through, but he's not going to overcorrect us or undercorrect us. Okay, he's keeping us in the stead according to Proverbs 30, verse 7 and 8, where you don't want to be too rich or too poor. He's keeping you in that perfect spot where you can still serve him. Because if you're too rich, you're going to deny him, and if you're too poor, you're going to steal, and it's too much. That's why it's better for us to just serve the Lord. Okay? Psalms 23 and 4. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Yeah, you're with me, the rod and the staff can comfort me. Okay? Just like a sheep. If you're going off, he'll hit your ass. Get back with the pack. Okay? And the staff is like, it could be used as a rod too, but it's also to stabilize you too. Okay? It's for correction. The rod is the correction, and the staff is for stability. Okay? That's what this word keeps us stable. Or this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding keeps us stable. That's why it tells you in Isaiah the 33rd chapter that Isaiah 33 and 1, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled. And this is talking about Sennacherib. He took down the northern kingdom, then he wanted to go and try to take more. Judah didn't do nothing to Sennacherib, just like Esau Edom. Woe unto you too, Esau. All right? It talks about a perpetual hatred that you have for your brother Jacob, and dealeth treacherously. And that's what you do. You deal treacherously. That's why Habakkuk was talking about the Babylonians, saying they would deal so treacherously with thee. Okay? And thou dealt not treacherously with thee, then thou shalt seize the spoil. So okay, when thou shalt seize the spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. Okay, then that's why you're seeing a lot of people, you know, Black Lives Matter, even though it's all set up, it's still a form of wanting to seek to help the poor. Okay? That's seeking to help the poor. And this is what is prophesied talking about you trying to seek to help the poor. And that's the beginning of the end of your kingdom. When you shall seize the spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And that's why you're seeing the dividing of the two parties. You should all just be a demon. Y'all are wicked as hell, man. Just be a demon. We're the righteous, we're the saints. We're supposed to stand in, but we're supposed to be oppressed. This is what you're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be afflicted. We're supposed to be killed. The scripture said we're in the valley of the shadow of death. And Esau, you are as death. So you're doing what you're supposed to be with life. Okay? So we're supposed to be prophesying your downfall, man. Ultimately, in this world, death seems like it's stronger than life. But life is actually stronger than death. And the Lord's going to manifest that when he comes. He already conquered death, man. He already conquered death, but he's going to come over here and he's going to destroy death. He's going to destroy Esau, and he's going to give us some new bodies, and we ain't never going to die. Then what? Then what? What you going to do then, Esau? You're going to look like a fool in that day. You're going to look, oh, man, I can't wait to see your face. I can't wait to see it, man. Isaiah 33, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Okay, so when you make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And that's talking about us. Habakkuk 2, verse 8, because thou hast spoiled many nations, and all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. That's right. That's right, man. As a matter of fact, let me jump over here to Habakkuk, the first chapter. Habakkuk chapter 1. And 13. It says, I started at 12. Habakkuk 1 and 12. Art thou not from everlasting, O Lord Yahweh, my God, my Holy One? We shall not die, O Lord Yahweh. Thou hast ordained them for judgment. And Almighty God, thou hast established them for correction. And it's talking about you heathen, talking about Esau, talking about the Babylonians, the modern day Babylonians, Esau, Edom, the Edomites. Thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil. Evil is wickedness, okay? He's of purer eyes than to behold evil. It tells you in Ecclesiastes 23, verse 19. The eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Okay, so he can see everything that's going on in the world. He's of pure eyes to behold evil. That's why you can't come around the Lord. He'll destroy you if you look upon your wickedness, man. That's why you need to be covered. So when the Lord look at you, man, Yahweh Shai is standing in front of him. So in intercession for you. While he is working on you to get righteous. Giving us this grace period. Okay, but the Most High, he don't play that. Okay, you don't accept the Son, he gonna destroy you. Okay? Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 13, thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. Iniquity is sin. Wherefore lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously. Yeah. Lookest thou upon them. Look at them. Look at these heathen that are oppressing us. And holdest thy tongue when the wicked devoureth the man that is more righteous than he. The wicked is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, Malachi 1 and 4. Okay? Or more righteous than he. Scripture that talks about, what did he say? Something about, I'll grab it. Let me get Malachi first before I get all flabbergasted. Before I get flabbergasted. Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. So Esau done this multiple times. Before he rose up as the Greeks, he was desolate. After the fall of the Roman Empire, he was desolate. But then he came out with the sword with great wrath, and he took down the Persians, and then he came and he took down, the Romans came after the Greeks, okay? They made a bunch of alliances, but before that he was impoverished. But he returned and built the desolate places, and now with America too. He renewed, through the Renaissance era, he created Rome 2.0. That's him returning from the desolate places. He was impoverished. All right? But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. Okay, and that's the people against. That's Esau. That's the so-called white man. He's against them forever. All right. He's dealing with them right now because he's punishing us, but he's gonna bring forth Jacob's trouble. Habakkuk asked him, "Thou art of pure eyes to behold evil. Why you know, that letting the wicked deal with us like thus?" And the Lord answers him, man. That's why you got to get the understanding of what's being said. If I can grab it. And he basically tells him, he set up the Babylonians to destroy and do all of that. Then he going to destroy them. Long story short. If I can get back to Habakkuk. Man. Can't even grab it. Habakkuk chapter 1. And where it says, he says it up more. Habakkuk 1. And 4. Therefore the Lord slack. No, I'll start at 5. Behold ye among the heathen, this is the Lord speaking, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told you. And you don't believe it. You know, you don't believe in this, the strangeness of your salvation. Brothers be bringing out the precepts all the time, and they don't believe it. It sounds science fiction what the Lord is going to do to redeem his elect in this time. It sounds far out. It sounds like it can't happen. He's showing the signs in the heavens with the different the sightings. You know, they're claiming that all these different Dabu called it what, the 3-eye atlas or whatever, things like that. You know, they're seeing things in the heavens that it doesn't even make sense. They're trying to do the math on it. Damn, this thing's the size of, you know, their math is telling them it's astronomically bigger than the world. It's traveling faster than anything we've ever seen before. These are signs in the heavens, man. This is the Lord showing the signs that first of all, that he's doing things, okay? It says, Habakkuk 1 and 5 again, behold ye among the heathen, which are you Israelites, all right? You're among the heathen because of Deuteronomy 28 verse 64. It was, you've been scattered into all nations. And regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told you. Yeah, regard and wonder marvelously how the Lord's going to deliver us from all these different nations. If we're scattered throughout all the earth, how's he going to know who is who and all of that? You know? But we're starting to see, especially with the underground churches and even in China. They got underground churches, man. This would be considered like an underground church. This ain't for everybody. So I can only imagine what they're teaching down there, man. I can, not that they're really underground, you know, they're probably above ground, but they're probably talking about Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. Okay? The word's going out all to the four corners of the earth. Habakkuk 1 verse 6, for lo, I raise up the Chaldeans. The Chaldeans are talking about the Babylonians. The modern day Chaldeans are you Edomites, the elites of Babylon, who are a bunch of witches and warlocks, magicians. They practice witchcraft. That's why when you go into these Masonic lodges, that's what they do. That's what they do. They're doing ritualistic sacrifices, doing all types of wickedness. All it is witchcraft. All right? They'll tell you different because if you believe that, you're a low-level demon. They don't want to tell you the real deal until they know you're wicked. They might make you blow a rod or something so you can get into more of the darkness of what they're doing in there. They'll tell you that the Bible is fake and all this other shit. I spoke to one of these demons, and he sat here the whole time. As soon as I packed up and left, he just disappeared. Sat here the whole time trying to convert me into the Mason shit. No one gives a fuck about Esau's, excuse my language, wickedness, man. All that shit, all that Masonic bullshit, that's gonna be destroyed. There was a video online with this girl. She didn't join a fraternity because they told her that she had to worship some other god, and she was like, man, fuck that. Out of all the people, she's the only one that did that. She's like, nah, man. She went back to the scriptures, man. And that's the Lord. That's the Lord. And I think she was a Jake too. So the Lord is, but she might be going back to Caesar Borgia. She need to get the truth. Habakkuk 1 verse 6. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation. Bitter going back to America. America's bitter. Margot Vespucci going back to a so-called white man. Okay, you look into the Hebrew for mar, it goes into bitter. Okay. So you're in a bitter place. In hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. It tells you in Ezekiel 36 chapter. They said, "Aha!" They said, "Aha, man! They got the ancient land. They got the holy land." Okay. Ezekiel 36:1. Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, Ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because the enemy have said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. And Esau has the ancient high places in possession. He got the temple. That's why a bunch of Sodomites are in the land of Jerusalem, because they don't belong there. You think the Lord loves Sodomites because he says so? That's not the truth, man. He's the devil. Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. And the sinful kingdom talking about here in America. Okay, if it was talking about the northern kingdom, then it would have been destroyed. It's still here. It's still here, man. So that's talking about here in America. Showing you the Lord sees all these things. Habakkuk 1:7, they are terrible and dreadful, their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. And they are terrible and dreadful. And that's what Esau was when he was coming to take down so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Their horses are swifter than the leopards. The leopards, going back to the Greeks, they're swifter than the leopards. You know, the Greeks were known as the leopards. Okay? And you can see that with their military capability. Their jets, they fly. As a matter of fact, Pete Hegseth just got on a jet. I was watching him coming out the jet like Top Gun, Tom Cruise. You ain't no Tom Cruise, you fool. Okay? You're a clown, man. But Esau boasts in his military capability. Good luck trying to fight those Yahweh Shai when he returns. You're going to see how Top Gun you are at that point. You're going to be destroyed. Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 8, the horses also are swifter than the leopards and are more fierce than the evening wolves. Yeah, they're more fierce than the evening wolves. That's why when he was, that's why Venezuela said, nah, you can go to the oil reserves. Here's the key to the oil reserves. He don't want to fight with them. Okay? No smoke Maduro, don't want no smoke with the beast. Nobody wants smoke with the beast. Except the bear. The bear wants smoke with the beast, and the bear is Russian. That's why he's coming out now, because now he got his capability ready. He ain't stopping it in Ukraine. He ain't gonna stop there. He gonna go into all those nations, man. So the bear has already been unleashed. That's the Lord fulfilling Ezekiel the 38th chapter by putting his hooks into his jaws. Okay, coming up out of resting. That Cold War is gonna get hot again. That's what the time we're getting into. And their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat. They shall come all for violence. Their faces shall sup up as the east wind. And they shall gather the captivity as the sand, and they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. So that's what the Lord raised them up. Okay? It says, then shall his mind change, and he shall pass over and offend, imputing his power unto his God. Yeah, his God, man. Which are false gods. All right? But that's pretty much it on that I wanted to bring out. Isaiah 33, verse 2. O Lord, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou their arm every morning, our salvation also in the time of trouble. The time of trouble is talking about Jacob's trouble. Be our salvation, be our protection in that time. Isaiah 33, verse 3. In the noise of the tumult, the people fled. At the lifting up of thyself, the nation was scattered. And lifting up is him about to bring that judgment, man. Him about to bring that judgment. All right? And your spoil shall be gathered like the gathering of the caterpillar. As the running to and fro of locusts shall he run upon them. The Lord is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness. He's going to fill Zion with judgment and righteousness when he destroys the people who've come up against us. That's judgment on the heathen. Righteous judgment. It tells you in Isaiah, Revelation, the 19th chapter, he judges to make war and righteousness. He's sending his son Yahushua to do that. For who? For the nation of Israel. Okay? That's who he's coming for. Show you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Isaiah 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So that's what the wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the times. So when people are losing their damn minds because they ain't got their EBT checks next month, well, guess what? We're going to be stable in the Lord. Okay? And when you lose your job and you ain't got no money, we're going to be stable in the Lord. Okay? That's what's going to happen. And Isaiah 4:1 is going to be happening too. Okay, where you women, 7 women shall take hold of one man. That's going to be happening too. All right? Because if not, you're going to be destroyed. All right? But I'm going to end it right there. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakach Wadat. Shalom, Abad Babal.